That's what most people fail to have in their life, is a structure and a set of rules and routines that they follow in order to get the result that they're seeking. What most people realize with 75 hard, and what I see happen all the time, they get to day 76 and they go hog wild.
Great experiences build great leaders. Great leaders build great teams. This is Building Great Sales Teams.
What's up, y'all? Coming at you with a special edition of Building Great Sales Teams. So we are doing a series for Building Great Sales Teams live coming July 12th. And we want to get all the speakers on the show. We want to introduce them to you. We want to talk all things Building Great Sales Teams. And today, we got a very special guest, Mr. Drewbie Wilson. He's a sales consultant, encouraging you to call the damn leads and crush the day before it crushes you. He's an expert in sales systems, marketing, and branding, and smoking meats for sure. He'll be joining us July 12th in San Antonio at the BGST'24 event. Drewbie, for the fourth time, welcome to the show, my brother.
Do I hold the record yet or what? Because I'm going to keep showing up until I get it.
You absolutely have the record. 100%. 100%, my man. Dude.
You know how it is.
So let's get serious, okay? What me and you are serious about. What have you been smoking lately?
Smoking, baby. We smoking it all. The last thing that I smoked was a big old hunk of brisket, and it was everything you wanted it to be, man. It was juicy. It was delicious. It took me all of 17 and a half hours to smoke that bad boy from start to finish. And then, you got to let it rest in the cooler. And that's the hardest part, is when you take it off and you're like, I could peel it out of the wrap, but I got to put it in the cooler for 2 hours. And then you're sitting there smelling it through the cooler. You're just like, man, I'm going to get that. But it's like a good sales call, right? When you're in the flow and you're just doing your thing and you're just like, we're getting there. We're getting there. We can't get there too soon, but we're going to get there. And then when you get to it, it's just the most beautiful, juicy, succulent thing, and you just want to put that meat all in your mouth. Oh, I tell you what.
I love it. I love it. Well, Mike Bauer said some heavy experiences about to drop, and he didn't know it was all about meat. 100%.
I mean, meat's heavy, bro. You ever pick up a 17-pound brisket and huck that thing around?
Dude, you're ambitious, man. I just stick to the 12-pounder. 17s, that's an all-night type of deal. Well, you got a Traeger, though, so you can just turn it on and walk away.
Well,
right?
I had a Traeger. I gifted it. Okay. So as you may or may not be able to see, for those of you who don't know my story, my family and I, we made the decision to move out of a 2,000 square foot home that we bought 2 years ago, sell everything, and move into what I'd have to guess is a 400 square foot condo on wheels. We got a fifth wheel RV. We're about to travel around the country. And because of that, we don't have room for the Traeger anymore. So I did gift it to a friend of mine. And I said, hey, man, I'm going to need you to play with this. And then let me put your meat in my mouth and experience all of the things Traeger delicious, because I cannot take it with me on the road. However, we're still blessed. I'm going to find me a new way to smoke some meats on the road. We're going to figure this out. That's the beauty of change, right? You can always find new ways to get the same result if you're willing to do the work.
I remember one time, one of my friends wanted some brisket and all he had was a propane pit. So I lit a small fire above the heat and I smoked wood chips to give it that smoky flavor. I mean, you make it work. When I first started smoking briskets, I had the little Walmart special grill. You put the coals on one side, you put the brisket on the other. You know what I mean? It creates the same effect. It's not as good, but it works.
Hey, man, that's the beautiful thing about putting in the work, is if you do it, you will get a result. And the more times you do the work, the better you get, the better the results, the more it's life, baby. That's what we're here for.
Hell yeah. So show me those knuckles.
These guys? Them
Yeah,
dirty
those guys.
rascals.
So you're affectionately revered as the meme lord. So drop your latest meme on us. What is your favorite meme right now? What are you using?
Favorite meme right now, bro, the classic, You Good. So there's a gentleman named Matthew Morrison. He was in a show called Glee. And in that show, he's a funny old white teacher guy, and he's got a big fro. And he's in one scene happens to be sticking his head out from behind the bleachers or the lockers. And it just says, You Good, ? Across the bottom. And if I can find it, I'd send it to you. You're probably going to find it and put it in the show in the replay somewhere. But that one meme, this is going to sound crazy, y'all, but like, hear me out. That one meme has made me over $1 million in sales commissions. Using a meme to follow up with prospects, anywhere from $500 to $180,000 transaction, that meme makes money.
So when do you use it? When do you tee that bad boy up?
All right, so let's go back for a second to why it's so powerful.
Okay.
If you're doing all of the work to build rapport and you're getting to know your customer and you're building that confidence and that trust level, and you go and you submit the close, you give them an offer and they're like, yeah, 100%, send me the invoice, send me the next steps. What do I need to do from here? Well, what can happen is it's life. People get busy. And what I've seen happen is that people start sending these typical copy paste templated responses to people. And it's kind of like, hey, just checking in. Did you get the invoice? Have you had a chance to pay the bill? Just wanted to follow up. And it's not personal. And also it can at some point get pushy and obnoxious and turn people away. And I'm just kind of dumb enough that one day I was having a slump in my sales process and I was calling all these leads and thought I had built all this rapport and sent all these invoices and they just weren't getting paid. And they weren't responding to my messages. And I got really fed up and I was like, well, you know what? F it. What's the worst that can happen? And I fired off a meme to a bunch of these prospects that had gone ghost on me. And within minutes, cha-ching, cha-ching, ha 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 ha, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I've been meaning to catch up with you. One guy gave me the bird. That's cool. A no is still a response and an answer that I can move on from. And it's crazy how this, it created this emotional response, because what happens is, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? We can both agree that we've heard that phrase a million times. So if you can send a picture to someone that's worth 1,000 words, you're not going to send them 1,000-word text message or email. Like, that's way too much. But if you can send a picture that creates an emotion, what causes motion? Emotion. Puts you in motion, right? And you're trying to get someone to take action when you send them this. You're trying to get a response. And so the meme, it's different. It separates you from all the other people in the world that send your typical canned follow-up message. And what I love about it is it's very disarming, because you don't expect it from someone in a more professional role. And if they've done their job correctly and they've built rapport, everybody loves memes. Like, you cannot find me one person on the planet that has not seen, laughed at, or shared a meme with someone. Everyone loves them. Now, you have to be very careful, because some memes will be very divisive and push people away. That's knowing your audience, right? That's a different part of the conversation. But if you built rapport and you know someone's into a specific thing, or you just know that they probably got busy, it's a lot more fun and engaging to send a silly meme than to send the typical just following up, want to get paid, blah, blah, blah. And so I created a little course. We've helped thousands of business owners use this process to put memes in their sales and follow up, and they've made ridiculous amounts of money with it. And so, yeah, I'm dumb enough. I tattooed me more to cross my knuckles, and I tell people all the time that it works. And they're like, I don't think that's very professional, Drewbie. And I go, okay, try it. And then they go try it and they make a bunch of money. And they're like, yeah, you were right, though. You was right, though.
I'm all right with it. I haven't been professional in like 3 years at least.
I have mom
once I saw all
tattooed on my neck. So, like,
yeah.
I've been out the game for a long time.
I got a couple too, you know. No, okay. So one of the things I love is to see you speak on stage. You know, you've been speaking on stages for a while now. What's been your favorite experience or moment thus far speaking on stage?
Anytime I get to speak where my son is there.
Oh,
those ones are always my favorite. 2 reasons. One, if I'm living my truth and I'm doing all of the building and the growing and setting things up the way I am, it's because I want him to see me as an example of what's possible. So, like, what better way to be able to do that than do it from stage where he's sitting in the crowd and or sitting at the back of the room working our booth, actually having a real conversation, learning real growth and life in the moment, in the experience. And then what's really fun is when I start talking about core values and I'm asking, hey, who in here has core values? And everybody's like, yeah, I got core values. And I'm like, well, who can tell me what their core values are? And they're like, I can tell you what my core values are. And I go, Duder, what are our core values? And he goes, responsibility, kindness, generosity, respect. And we're like, oh. And that's one of those things that if I'm set to be a leader and I'm standing at the front of the room and people are supposed to respect my authority, as the once great Cartman would say, having him there to be able to spout those off and living it and seeing it as an example, like, there's no better way to see who a man is than see how his kids act. That's going to tell you a lot about what kind of man he is the way that his kids act in public and behind closed doors. And listen, they know. And when they show up like that, man, it changes the room, changes the energy.
I love it so much. I'm looking forward to that because, you know, last night we had a small event for our local SEN chapter, Alamo City Entrepreneurs. And so I've been paying my son $10 an hour. He's 12 years old. $10 an hour to come and to start taking photographs and videos and everything, you know, and start getting used to that and then editing reels afterwards and kind of working on that, you know, and he's having a blast doing it. And I didn't even realize it until you said that. I was like, well, that's the first stage, you know, my son has seen me speak on was when I did the sales toolkit last night for a local group of entrepreneurs, you know, and it didn't even click. It didn't even register until you said that. And I was like, dang, that was the first time. You know, they've seen me podcast. Obviously, they walk in all the time. They walk into the Trophice, as my daughter so affectionately calls it, the Trophice, the trailer office. And, you know, that's cool. And I think they understand what dad does now. You know, they're 10 to 13 years old. So, and yeah, I can imagine on July 12th, you know, I'm going to have that feeling too, getting to have my whole family there. And they're going to be working the booth and selling the merch and all the things, man. So I am following in your footsteps, brother.
I love that. And I think that's such a great example to set for our kids, though, because what better way to show them this is what real life is? This is what it means to go and work and to put in a day, like to put in the effort. Now, some people could be like, well, that's not real work. They're just hanging out and doing the thing. But it is, though. We're feeding into their creativity. We're feeding into their ability to learn. My son, like, he loves upselling people. When they come to the booth, they're like, oh, let me get a keychain. He's like, great. That would go great with a wristband, or maybe you'd want to add a book. My dad will sign it for you. You want a book too? You should get a book too. Like, what do you do for business, sir? And my favorite thing is to be like across the room, having a random conversation and someone to come up and be like, your son's a closer. Like, did I need a $75 hoodie? No, absolutely not. But when he offered it to me, what was I supposed to say? I'm like, yeah, buy it up, dog. That's the game. like
father, like son, like father, like son.
And so he gets that idea though, this then, okay, well, how much did I earn? because now he wants to know what can I go and do with that hard work? What experience do
Yeah.
I have now, and what opportunity do I get to create for myself as an 8-year-old boy who loves Minecraft and buying these different game things? And it's like, well, hey man, I've got 5,000 wristbands that needed to be sorted into packs of 5. Have at it.
Mm-hmm.
Every 10 packs, I'll give you $1. It's like, game on. And he'll sit there for an hour, 2 hours, packing things up. And then he knows if he goes and he sells stuff at the booth, hey man, what's my commission on the booth sales, Dad? What do I get? Like, how much did we sell? How much of that do I make? And it's like, nothing. You get to live here and be a part of this, kid. What do you mean? But, for tax purposes, yes, he also gets paid to take photos and to do marketing and to run the booth, because as an entrepreneur who runs a business, I understand that that's an important part of knowing the game. So if I can pay him $1,000 a month, and then we can put some of that money into retirement accounts that then is going to scale massively as he grows, or I can put it into life insurance that grows for however long. Like, the lessons, man, the lessons.
Mm-hmm. And it comes from investing in ourselves, right? And so the last time I saw you speak, you came down to San Antonio, and you brought the whole family. You brought the RV. Y'all did the damn thing for like the whole week. We got to take you guys out to dinner, had some margaritas and tacos. We had a good time. How did you like San Antonio? What was your favorite part about it?
I really appreciated the river walk, as far as there was just a very genuine feel as you're walking around. You could tell it was a very, like, it's a busy city, but it was also very homey, and it had that vibe of kind of just like, we all down for each other. Like, we're here to support. My wife and I and Duder, we all went to the missions, and we got to go check out the missions and kind of see like the history of how, people were just like, we came together and we made do.
I thought you meant the baseball team. Okay, you meant the actual missions.
No, like the church missions, dog. No, the church missions. I didn't know there was a baseball team in the missions. That's cool, though. No, we went and saw all the church missions because, like, to us, that's part of why we made the decision to move into the RV and live the life that we're going to live. Because you can read about things in a book, you can watch it on YouTube, you can see it on TV, but there's a different energy when you step into a gigantic brick, like, stone building that was built in the late 1800s, and there's like people that live there and died there. Like, there's just a different vibe. It's a different kind of energy. And that said, we want our son to have that experience. I didn't get to travel a lot as a kid because my mom was a single mom with 3 boys, and my dad was in and out. And like, that's a whole story from my first book that you can go and find on Amazon under Crushing the Day. And also, what we want to build for our son is the ability to actually go and experience these things, not read about it, not just look at it on YouTube, because we want to do those things. And so we have the opportunity now to put that in place and to take him with us and to show him what the real world actually can be if you decide not to stick to what everyone says it should be.
I love it, man. I love it so much. I can't wait. I got a couple of events coming up. One of them in San Diego next week, but unfortunately my son's still in school, or I take him with me to experience all that, which is so cool. All right. So one of the things that, and we'll see if I've roped you into it or not yet, but you said you were down for San Antonio. That's what I heard. You said you were down. Why are you looking to the side? There's nothing for you over there.
I know where this train's going, Doug Mitchell.
And I posted the other day about, I want to do 75 hard and I want to finish the day before the event. And so you were like, Doug, you're killing me. And basically that meant yes. You know what I mean? That you're ready to go. You're ready to do it. So, well, all joking aside, let's talk about what programs like that and your health and fitness journey has done to continue to set that example.
Yeah. So, at one point, man, I weighed over 300 pounds. Right now, I sit around 205-ish. And it's been a long journey. And what's crazy is I've lost 100 pounds, gained 100 pounds back, and lost it again. And what's like the hardest part for me, just to be very transparent about it, is that even at my biggest, I was unhappy for sure. I didn't have the ability and the energy to do the things that I wanted in life. My wife at one point literally came to me and was like, "Hey, dog, I love you, but all this ain't it, dog. Just being straight." And then when I got down to my lowest at 183 and I looked in the mirror and I went to the office and people was like, "Man, you a little string bean. Like that ain't it either." And so programs like 75 Hard and all the different, mindset side of them, that's all it is. It's a mindset. It's a decision to say, I'm going to make different choices in what I eat, what I do all day, and what I'm willing to accept as my normal. And it's funny because, like, I promised myself like a year ago, I was never doing 75 Hard again because I've done it twice. I did the entire Live Hard year. I am disciplined. What I've learned is that when I do stuff like that, it actually causes so much riff in my life because I have to restructure something that's already working as well as it has been. And I understand that that's part of why you do that. Like I see both sides of it. And also, man, I live in an RV and I got a family and I'm pretty fucking dialed in. So
yeah,
I love the program for people who need structure. That's what most people fail to have in their life is a structure and a set of rules and routines that they follow in order to get the result that they're seeking. What most people realize with 75 Hard and what I see happen all the time, they get to day 76 and they go hog fucking wild.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, I did it. Congratulations. I look great. And even if they make it like a week or two where they're like, well, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to keep going. Life happens. They go back to their routine. They stop working out and doing that extra walk every day, which is the 300-400 calories worth of cardio that they're burning off, which is the 2 to 3 drinks that they're starting to add back into their meals every other day.
Yeah.
It's life. And so while I love 75 Hard for what it is and what it can teach people, I think it's really, really important to understand what do you want to do long term that you can actually sustain. That's all that matters. What can you sustain in your routine that's going to make the difference and get you the result that you want? If you need 75 Hard, then if you've never done anything for 75 days in a row, 100% I will tell you to go do that program. If you've already done it, it's not about can you do it, it's are you willing to do it? That's the only difference. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox because
no, you're good. I mean, I love it.
Passionate about the health and fitness side.
Yeah, I mean, you know my journey. I attempted it 6 times before I finally finished it the 7th. The only reason I finished it the 7th was because my wife did it with me, and it made it so much easier to finish. Right, so that's one big hack. If you're not able to finish 75 Hard yet, do it with your spouse. It gets so much easier after that because you don't feel like you're robbing time at that point for that evening workout or that afternoon workout. And so you're taking a walk together and you're deepening your relationship, But
it's a twofer.
I'm that dude. I finished 75 Hard. I stayed on my routine here and there. I went down to 4 times a week working out, and then I went down to 3 times a week, and then 2 times a week, and then jump back on it, just because discipline's always been my Achilles heel. So I knew doing this event this year, taking on the clients that I'm taking on, I decided to take a sober year. I knew I would have to dial it in this year in order to put out this kind of capacity that I want to put out this year. And so 75 Hard is kind of like that last thing that, hey, I'm going to do that this year too. That's going to give me my superpower to finish the year strong. And this time, I'm going to keep it consistent afterwards. Right. All right. So I want to jump in with some comments from Instagram. Doesn't let me post them up here. So I want to make sure you see all this support. So we got Mike Bauer, some heavy experience about to be dropped. No lie. Travis Terrebonne, these mofos ain't playing. And then Mike said, Mike said, y'all are so Texas, not worthy up here in Wisconsin. I mean, that's fair when we're talking about barbecue, but football, y'all had our number for a while there over here in Dallas.
Listen, they got good beef up there. Even if they can't smoke it, they got good beef. They just cook it different. It's fine.
I mean, they get the milk and they get the cheese curds. That's what's up. I love.
And they got that good grass-fed beef up there. They got that, butter. Just all kinds of butter on there, baby. The mashed taters. Like, I got you, Mike. It's all good.
So here's a good one. Mike also said, Ed Milet taught me that more is caught than taught with kids. Totally true. Love that one. LS Alchemy. Let's go, Doug. Full-time RV lifers unite. And then Travis said, I just realized Travis said, I just realized you're both in a Trophus. Let's go. Trailer hood.
Hey, Trailer Park boys, let's go. That's funny, man. I didn't realize, but I'm a real life Trailer Park boy now. That's
yeah,
wild.
Heck yeah. Maria Kirby said, "What's up, homies?" And Mike Bauer again with consistency compounds. Man, he's been consistent in this podcast, dropping us some comments. You know,
he a real one. He's out there doing the work too. That's the thing I love about guys. Like, and this is what I love about you, Doug, and why I'm so excited to be a part of the event and to support the event, because you attract people who want to win and who are willing to say, my way doesn't have to be your way, but I'm willing to share whatever I know with you, because it's going to create growth for both of us. Because everything that this circle is doing, we're going out and spending ridiculous amounts of money, time, and energy to learn this knowledge. And we're doing it in a way so that we can bring it back to the people who want to be where we're at. Because we remember what it was like 5 years, 10 years ago when we were going through that growth through and having that season and being like, shit, what does this look like? Even for myself, I walked away from multiple 6-figure salary in December to sell everything we owned to move into a van and live down by the river. Like, used to be what people would talk shit about. Now it's what a lot of people go, hey man, that sounds like a dream. But it's only a dream turned to reality because we did the work. And people like Mike, people like yourself, people like all the speakers that you're bringing to this incredible event, they do the work. And that's what gets the result. Now, everyone has a different path, right? What's the one quote that I remember? Methods are many, principles are few. Methods may vary, but principles never do. Meaning there's a lot of different ways to make money, but there's only one version of success that's for you, your version of it. And until you get that clarity, nobody else can help you get it. But once you get that clarity, we'll share every system, process, and idea that we have that could help you get there, because you're going to do the same for us. And that's what this event's all about.
Man, I love it, because we're going to make a lot more of an impact giving it away than we are when we charge for it. It's just reality. We give it away to so many more people than we charge for it. And what I always say is, like, give it away for free. You don't have any, most of us don't have anything really special, not proprietary that we can like put a patent on, except for Drewbie's catchphrases. You know what I mean? He's got a trademark on those. Shout out to
the power. Let me just hold on a second, because we want to talk personal branding and you want to talk about building a great team. Branding is important. People get into that. They go a part of the culture. They want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of the Bulls. They want to be a part of the Lakers, because they truly, really want to be a part of something. There's a tribe. There's a community there. So don't discredit the power of branding, and understand that if you're going to build something great, protect it. And make sure that it's there for the long term. You want to build a legacy, dog. Own everything from the top to the bottom. One of the greatest lessons I got in business was one of the first days I walked in was, hey, what's that stuff on the wall? Hey, man, that's our money maker. Those are our business trademarks and our copyright and patents and everything that this business owns that's worth real money. And I went, all right, dog, cool. And it's one of the greatest investments I ever did, was trademarking and protecting the different products, names, phrases, all the things that I've come up with, because I've seen a lot of really great businesses that are 5-10 years in have to spend a lot of money to rebrand. And once you've built a strong brand, man, if you mess it up, it's hard to start fresh.
So hit Peyton with that quote again. He's asking.
So Peyton, yes. So methods are many, principles are few. Methods may vary, but principles never do. Now, I'm definitely swiping that from a mentor of mine. I don't remember which one, but it's strong.
It's time strong, to Google it and find out. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, brother.
I mean, there's a million ways to make $1 million. Which one do you want to go after and do the work for?
Hell yeah. All right. So we've been talking about this event a little bit, and my vision for this event, because I've been through a lot the last couple of years. You know that. I've been to a lot of mastermind events, a lot of events that my friends have put on and stuff like that. And
You've seen it all.
There's nothing worse than sitting in the chair and having to listen to someone pitch for half an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's frustrating. You know that when you go up there, you bring enough value, and all you have to do is say, call the damn leads once. And you got people showing up to your booth after because you brought the value. They enjoy the brand. They know the man behind the brand, you know? And so it was very important to me when we started this, and this is what we went over in our speaker meeting this morning, that that there's no pitching from stage, you know? And also because I know that the way we're doing this event, we're trying to get local people from San Antonio. So this isn't like all the groups that we're in, we could easily fill a room with 100 people with just the people that we know, right? But that they've all heard Drewbie speak before. You know what I'm saying? And granted, we always take a nugget. I've heard you speak maybe like 5 or 6. I always take a nugget like, damn, he just reminded me I'm not doing that anymore, you know? And so, but we could easily do that. But what I'm trying to do is fill the room with 80% of people that we've never met, you know? And the first thing I don't want to do is pitch those people, right? And so we're limiting the sponsors, right? Zero just locked in their sponsorship today and they agreed to my terms, which is exciting. You know, we've sent each other a lot of business back and forth, and that's what happens in relationships long term, you know? So I'm incredibly excited about that. And so now that they know what they can expect from the event, which is straight value from stage. Now, if you walk over near our booth, we're going to close your ass. So you might want to keep your distance. Duder's going to close your ass. Okay. So keep your distance. But as far as you going up on that stage on July 12th in San Antonio, Texas, what can our listeners and our viewers expect from you?
So I'm going to get up there and I'm going to tell you to call the damn leads. And that's one thing you're going to hear from me repeatedly. But it's just a mantra for doing the work. And what I want everyone to walk away with after they've heard me speak on that stage on July 12th is to understand the value of their time. We all know how to make money. You don't listen to podcasts. You don't show up in events. You don't do these things if you don't know how to make money first. You know how to make money. That's why you're investing in yourself. When you show up, I'm going to let you walk out of there with a real understanding of what your time is worth, where you should be spending it, who you should be spending it with, and what you should be spending it on in order to live the life that you truly want to live. Because let's be honest, man, there's a lot of gurus, there's a lot of influencers, there's a lot of shit out there online that will say, this is what success really looks like. But you know what success really looks like? You having a heart full, knowing that you're in the place where you feel fulfilled and you get to do the thing that brings you the most joy. And if that's hanging out with your kids, playing baseball, if that's down at the pond, tossing your line in, if that's playing with your meat and then telling everybody on the internet to look at it, that's okay. But until you get that clarity and you know what your time is worth, you can't go and create that, because money is the tool and the resource that we all use to go and create that success. So let me show you what your time is truly worth, how to go and implement these simple tactics that will save you time and create massive return on the investment of it, and then introduce you to more people like Doug that will help hold you accountable to getting the result that you say that you want in your life, because that's all that matters. If you want it, we want it for you, but we can't do the work that you got to do to get that result. We'll give you every tool, every resource. We're literally going to unlock the secret Kodak handbooks and all the fancy things, and we're going to give you the insider secrets, all the things that make us successful. And all you got to do is then take them and go back and use them, and you will be massively successful. So if I can say any one thing, go make sure your ticket is locked in, that you've reserved July 12th for you to sit down, invest some time in you, because that's what's going to get you where you want to be in life.
Man, I ain't got nothing else to say. You just knocked it out of the park with that one, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show, sharing your wisdom with us, and gracing us with your presence on July 12th for the event. It's going to be fantastic, man. We're going to have a good time. We're going to eat some barbecue. We're going to eat some steak. You know what I mean? It's going to be all good, brother. Thanks again. Appreciate you so much.
You got it, brother.
All right, guys. You heard it here, July 12th. We're going to be in San Antonio, Texas. And I want to make sure before we get off here that I shout out a sponsor that just engaged for the event. They're going to be one of 3 sponsors for the event, and that's Zero. If you guys don't know yet, I've talked about them several times on the podcast. I've had them on the show. They're fantastic people, and they are revolutionizing door-to-door and Zoom sales through AI sales coaching. So go check those guys out. They have an amazing product. I appreciate you guys, and y'all have a great night.